bounced around a little bit. I started off as a material analyst, working at a plant, working with numbers. I'm a math guy with a math certification, so I did that for about a year and a half, and then my wife and I moved up to Shreveport, which is an hour north of where we lived. And then I was a branch manager for a security data company for a couple years, and then when my wife graduated from PA school, we moved to Tulsa. And I started in insurance for a little while. I figured out pretty quick that's not the route I wanted to go, and so I was searching for what I really wanted to do, and so I went ahead and got my teaching certification, knowing that coaching was coming soon, and I was blessed with an opportunity in 2009, 2010 in Muskogee. Ran into Josh Blankenship at Lowe's one day and said, as soon as I get a coaching job, then I'm gonna hire you. And he got hired at Muskogee probably 6 months later, and that's how I started with football. When I got into coaching, I was set on baseball. I thought that was the route that I was going to take until I had this football opportunity come along. And then I just refound my love for football, and it's been so awesome. I can't imagine doing anything else now. Business is a lot about the relationships you develop. It's the same way when you coach. You got to get your players to trust you. You got to develop those relationships with them, and you'll get the most out of them whenever they trust you. It's the same thing when you're in business and you have customers. If you don't know them or get to know them and put the time into those people, then they're not going to do as much business with you as they would otherwise. So relationships on one hand, the other thing is the small details, paying attention to little details. I always talk about it with my players, little details, small details, little things win ball games. And it's the same way in business. One little detail's off, one little decimal point or one little number's off, then it can screw up a lot of things. Sorry. The punt returners, I work with them day in, day out, and little things like getting your eyes under control right before the ball is when it's on its descent, getting your eyes under control and not hopping around out there, making sure you're set up underneath and not drifting to where the ball's going to be. So little things like that can reduce the amount of turnovers, it can reduce the amount of mistakes, and when you're playing big time 6A football, mistakes are exploited, so you reduce the mistakes and play solid, efficient ball game, then you're gonna win a lot of ball games and be a champion. So. I don't think different. I just think I'm now in the right spot. I'm where I'm supposed to be. You approach things, one way when you're in business, when you're in insurance, or when you're a branch manager, but it kind of is all the same. It's all about work ethic. It's all about, really, I tell this to my students, I tell this to my players, it's about attitude and effort, and taking care of one thing usually takes care of the other, but those are the two things you can control, is your attitude and your effort. And so that's what I try to do just on a daily basis. Approach every day with a positive attitude and just try to be the greatest version of yourself that you can be. So it doesn't matter if you're on the football field, if you're talking to a customer, if you're a dad at home, or if you're a husband, either way, it's all the same. It's about giving everything you have to what you're doing. Natchitoches, Louisiana. It's not spelled like Natchitoches, but it is pronounced that way. We went to college together, and we dated for a while when we were seniors, and then we got married in Natchitoches, and we've been together, we just celebrated 9 years of marriage, and we have 2 kids now. Little girl who's 2.5 and a little boy who's 1.5. I've got my daughter chanting Broken Arrow Tigers already, and you know, they're all about it. Great, wonderful support system. I mean, they're so excited to see Daddy when he gets home. It just makes it worth it for the time that you're gone. And it's okay, you know, you get the spring to spend time together. But you know, they get to come to games, and they know where I'm at, and they can kind of see now, especially my daughter, she's able to see when we watch TV and watch football, hey, that's what Daddy does, you know. So that stuff's fun, and they understand. I remember it exactly, actually. She was in Florida with her family, and I was home in Tulsa over the summer. And this is while we were both still in college, I think right after my senior year. And we were talking on the phone one day. I just called her out of the blue, just to see how she was doing. And that conversation turned into about an hour and a half. And before you knew it, you know, I looked at my watch, and we've been talking for a long time. I was like, whoa, what happened? And that's when it kind of started taking it to another level, because we were just friends up until that point, and I knew that there was something building between us. And when we finally were able to come back together, and we're back in college together, we started our relationship. It's just grown immensely since then, you know. 9 years of marriage, you know, family, and it just gets better every day with her. You know, we both love country music. There was a Jimmy Wayne song called I Do. I think it's called I Do. If I get that wrong, I might be in trouble. But we danced to it. It was our first dance as a bride and groom. And so that's kind of our song, but we like a lot of the same things. You know, it started with country music. We both like the old swing band stuff. We both like Elvis. You know, we like some oldies, and then there's also some new pop that, you know, we can both dig. You know, music puts us both in a good mood. We like the same stuff most of the time. And yeah, I try to plant little seeds around the house, leave little notes. I know it's one thing, I can't believe I'm telling you this, but left a little note in the bottom of the trash can that said, you know, when I'm gone, I'm in the dumps, you know. So every time, you know, she's forced to take the trash out because I'm not there, she's able to see that my little note, you know, just reminds her that I'm there, and I'm thinking about her all the time. I don't know where I was going with that. There went my math of what I'm teaching right now. Okay, yeah, we're teaching long division and adding decimal points, so there, that popped in. Oh my God, I just went blank. Oh, anyway.